My biggest challenge right now is doing my current role justice. I, every day, feel the weight of the responsibility in being effective at my job, because I'm not working for a company that is doing what it's doing to make money and pay a Christmas bonus and have fun, right? We are doing what we do at the New America Alliance because it's very much needed. We are advocating on behalf of the Latino business community, but really more in general on behalf of all underrepresented communities that want equal access to capital for their businesses. And if there's no one doing what we do, right? If the NAA wasn't in existence, and we've been around since 1999, and we've helped our members and our communities create a tremendous amount of wealth for themselves. But if we weren't doing what we were doing, there'd really be no one advocating for what we're advocating, especially for the Latino community. So that's a big responsibility, and probably the biggest challenge is trusting myself to be able to do it right. But we have a long way to go in terms of making sure that Latinos aren't just a fraction of the businesses that are being, or represent just a fraction of the businesses that are being built, or the investment funds that are being created and that are raising capital, right? That's the goal. We have a very, very long way to go. I recently, really in this role, the other big challenge is learning, right? Really speaking the language and learning more about government and policy, because that's a big part of advocacy, is you have to be involved on the policy side. And I've been reading a lot of studies, and one of the most interesting ones recently is the Knight Foundation study, Diversifying Investments, and it's Knight Foundation and Professor Josh Lerner from Harvard University. And it essentially shows that only 1.1% of all dollars in the markets are managed by women and minorities. 1.1% out of about $70 trillion. And Latinos are a fraction of that, right? So yes, the NAA has been around since 1999. Yes, we've done a very, very good job thus far, but it's not enough. We have a very, very long way to go, right? And my challenge is to multiply the effect that we've had in the last 18 plus years. In terms of how I'm dealing with it, I'm really trying to breathe and pause, because it's very easy, I think, to get caught up in, we need to get all of these things done, and we need to talk to all these people, and we need to get all these signatures, and we need to write all these letters for support, and really get caught up in the hamster wheel of your to-do list without really pausing to, one, enjoy what you're doing, because I think that's part of re-energizing. It's very, very necessary for these kinds of roles, and really for any role, no matter how junior, no matter how senior, no matter how experienced or how green you are. I think it's always important to re-energize, but you need to, it's important to step back and say, okay, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And like any role, it has its days where you feel so empowered and you can go for hours, or days or weeks, you could say, I don't even have to eat lunch because I'm so energized, right? And then you have some days where you're just feel like sometimes you're banging your head against the wall and not really getting done what you want. And so in terms of dealing with the challenges, is really taking a moment to kind of pause and make sure that you're keeping yourself on track and re-energizing. That's key for any role.